What the fuck was that? If you didn't see last night's presidential debate, don't worry, you will, because this is going to permeate the American culture. The images, videos, and memes coming out of this debate are going to be iconic because this was an utter self-destruction of Joe Biden. This performance was so bad that, and I'm not exaggerating, he may have lost the election with how bad this performance was. This performance was so bad that even on CNN, immediately after the debate, they're talking about replacing Joe Biden and how much of a disaster this was.
CNN's John King has described a panic inside the Democratic Party right now because of President Biden's performance in tonight's debate. Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
So Joe Biden had a bad performance. How bad could it possibly be? Well, here's a few points you need to keep in mind that will really contextualize how much of a self-destruction this really was. Number one, this was a CNN-run debate. CNN hosted the debate, CNN aired the debate, CNN had the exclusivity of who could cover the debate and who had cameras in the room. They set up everything. They had CNN moderators. This entire debate, the rules were set by Joe Biden's campaign. This was the most home court advantage you could have as a politician, and this was the result. Number two, Joe Biden went to Camp David for a week to prepare for this debate. He has an entire team of people helping him attempt to look good and craft these statements and comebacks, again, for a debate where the rules were set in his favor on a network that is absolutely in his favor. And this, again, was the result. Number three, Joe Biden is literally a professional politician who's been doing this since 1972. It'd be one thing if I got on stage and kind of blabbered and sounded like an idiot and didn't make a lot of sense because, I'm not used to being on the stage. I'm not used to having, these kind of questions thrown at me. That would make sense. He's been doing this since 1972 and has a team of people helping him to prepare for this thing. And again, this was the result. Number four, Joe Biden was messing up rehearsed lines. This is not a situation where, Joe Biden's out there doing crowd work and somebody asks a question he wasn't prepared for and maybe he looks a little foolish. No, the way this debate was set up, Joe Biden was just giving, rehearsed cookie cutter statements and he was messing those up. What? These are statements that an entire team crafted to make him look good. And this, again, was the result. Oh my God, his closing statement, the most rehearsed, this is where you really want to nail it down and, hit on the big issues. With all the issues facing the country right now, his closing statement was incoherent and the final lines, like to really, hammer it home, he was talking about lead pipes.
What I did, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President.
My jaw dropped when he ended the debate talking about, of all things, fucking lead pipes. Are you serious? Normally, the conversation after a debate is people talking about who won. Who won the debate? Who had the best answer to this question? Who had the best zinger? Nobody is talking about that. Everybody knows who won the debate. Nobody's talking about the issues at all. The only issue people are talking about is Joe Biden even with us? This is a disaster for Joe Biden. Nobody's even talking about Donald Trump. Since 2016, Republicans have been hammering Joe Biden, talking about how he has dementia and he's not with it. And there's tons of Joe Biden having Biden moments where he just looks totally lost. And while those may be true, a lot of Americans saw those as like political attacks. Oh, they're just cherry picking Joe Biden looking bad. And, even somebody like myself, look, I make YouTube videos. I understand that if you put a camera and a microphone in front of somebody long enough, there's going to be a lot of instances where they sound foolish, look dumb, trip over their words. It's just going to happen. But at a certain, there's a limit. There's definitely a limit. So me personally, I can forgive Joe Biden for, sometimes, dude, if you have a camera and mic in front of you for a lot of the day, you're just going to look foolish. Sometimes it's just going to happen. But what gets me is the physical things. The clip of Joe Biden trying to put on his jacket, and it's like a 2-minute ordeal. It's painfully long. That combined with like his wife helping him off the debate stage, combined with all the mental things, it's the cumulative effect. And all of this stuff combined, and then last night, the American public got to see Joe Biden for what he is in a totally neutral environment. This was not Republican cherry-picked. Donald Trump just fucking sat there and looked at him like this all night as he just blabbled. And everybody was sitting there like, what is happening? That's what happened last night. Joe Biden's performance was so bad that everything gets thrown out the window. It doesn't matter that Donald Trump is a convicted felon. It doesn't matter that Donald Trump fucks porn stars. It doesn't matter that Donald Trump is kind of an egomaniac. It doesn't matter that Joe Biden is, super corrupt with all the Burisma things. It doesn't matter that Joe Biden's crackhead son is somehow on the board of an oil company that he doesn't even speak the language of. It doesn't matter that Afghanistan was a disaster. It doesn't matter that the border is a fucking disaster. It doesn't matter that the economy is terrible for the average working class American. It doesn't matter that inflation is terrible. None of that even fucking matters anymore. Why? Because no matter who you are, no matter what your level of education is when it comes to politics, whether you're, a doctor or you dig ditches, it doesn't matter, because everybody looked at Joe Biden last night and how he was acting and could relate to it, because everybody knows what it's like to have an older family member who just isn't quite there with it anymore. And that's what everybody saw last night. Everyone, regardless of who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are, what culture you come from, saw how Joe Biden was acting and could immediately go, oh, that's somebody that's, older and just not quite there with it anymore. And that's it. It's fucking wrap. That's it. That's it.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why?
I really just don't see Joe Biden coming back from this. The Republicans have a ton of material to hammer him with. They don't need to edit it or put it in any bad light. Just show Joe Biden unedited. That's really all you got to do. And it looks terrible. It just looks bad. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories flying around that the reason they did the debates early is so they could replace Joe Biden. That's going to be a hard ask. Nobody likes fucking Kamala, so that's a no-go. And just putting somebody else in right now, right before the election, I just don't think it's going to work. And the American people are going to see that as obviously a Hail Mary, which it is. Man, I don't know. I think we're going to see Donald Trump win the election again. I'll be shocked. But my advice to Republicans is you still have to go vote, guys. If you want Trump to win, you have to actually go vote. Don't do a Hillary where everybody's like, oh, well, she's going to win. I mean, the other guy's orange. Don't do that. You have to actually, if you want your candidate to win, you have to actually go vote. So do that. I really don't think that there's a lot of voter enthusiasm for Joe Biden. I didn't think there was to begin with, but I would love to see the Biden fanboys now. Where are you? Holy fuck. Because that performance was a disaster. The funniest thing about all of this is that there's another debate scheduled. There's going to be another one on ABC apparently. Do I think that that's actually going to happen? At this point, probably not. I'd be curious to know what the Biden strategy is. Are they going to double down and go well, fuck, that was bad. Maybe we just put it all on black and hope that the amphetamines hit right this next time. I mean, damn, who knows? Either way, it's going to be entertaining. America loves a good comeback story, so I think we're going to see the Orange Man back in office again in this time around. But God, either way, whatever happens, it is going to be entertaining, and I am very much enjoying all the memes coming out of this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and join the Discord. It's free.